What if I told you that everything you know about detoxing is backwards? You've been doing it in the morning, the juices, the lemon water, the celery shots, but science says your body's most powerful detox window opens at night while you're asleep. And there are 3 ingredients sitting in your kitchen right now that can unlock it. Tonight, I'm going to show you exactly what to mix, exactly when to drink it, and exactly why your body is just waiting for you to give it this one glass before bed. Stay with me because by the end of this video, your nighttime routine will never be the same. And one more thing before we go any further, if you have acid reflux, do not try this until you hear what I say at the 14-minute mark. I have a critical modification specifically for you. Don't skip ahead, the context matters. Okay, let's get into this. So let me ask you something honestly. How do you actually feel when you wake up most mornings? Not on a good day, on a typical Tuesday. Are you sharp, clear, energized, ready to go the moment your feet hit the floor? Or does it feel more like wading through wet concrete, brain fog sitting heavy behind your eyes, your stomach bloated and uncomfortable, your digestion sluggish, like your body just did not finish whatever it was supposed to finish overnight? If that sounds familiar, I want you to understand something important. Those are not morning problems. Those are nighttime problems that show up in the morning. Your body runs its most critical internal housekeeping while you sleep, clearing waste, processing toxins, recycling cellular debris, resetting your gut lining. But here is the thing. If you go to bed in the wrong metabolic state, you literally interrupt your body's cleaning crew before it even gets started. And most of us are doing exactly that every single night without realizing it. That is the real problem, and it is fixable. Tonight, let me give you the science on this. Because once you understand what is actually happening inside you while you sleep, you will never look at your bedtime routine the same way again. There is a field of research called chronobiology, and chronobiology is simply the study of how your body's biological functions change based on the time of day. Your heart rate, your hormone levels, your digestive speed, your immune activity, all of it follows a precise internal clock, including your detox organs. Research published in Chronobiology International has mapped how liver enzyme activity, bile acid cycling, and gut motility all follow specific circadian rhythms, peaking during certain nighttime hours, roughly between 11 at night and 3 in the morning in most adults. Your liver is not working at the same pace at 2 in the afternoon as it is at 2 in the morning. It has a schedule, a peak performance window. And if you are not supporting that window, you are leaving your body's most powerful healing capacity completely untapped. And it gets even more fascinating. Your brain has its own dedicated waste clearance system called the glymphatic system. It was only formally described in 2013 by researchers at the University of Rochester, and it changed neuroscience. Here is how it works. During deep sleep, your brain cells actually shrink by up to 60%, creating channels that allow cerebrospinal fluid to flush through brain tissue, clearing out metabolic byproducts, amyloid proteins, and cellular waste that accumulates during waking hours. The glymphatic system is up to 60% more active during sleep than during wakefulness. Your brain is literally washing itself while you sleep. Think about that for a second. Your brain runs its own nightly car wash, but only if the conditions are right, only if you actually reach deep, restorative sleep. Only if your body is calm, your blood sugar is stable, and your nervous system has shifted into rest and digest mode. So if all of this incredible biology is already happening, why do so many people still wake up feeling terrible? Why does the brain fog persist? Why does the bloating come back every single morning? Because most of us are going to bed with elevated cortisol, unstable blood sugar, and a digestive system that is inflamed and activated rather than calm and ready. And all of those things actively suppress your body's detox cycle. Your cleaning crew shows up and finds the building locked. Every night you go to bed without actively supporting this process is a missed opportunity for your body to heal. And those missed opportunities stack up. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You've tried bedtime health drinks before. Maybe chamomile tea, maybe warm lemon water, maybe one of those herbal detox teas from the health food store. And you felt fine, maybe relaxed, but not transformed. Here is why most of those options fall short. Chamomile tea on its own is genuinely wonderful for relaxation. It activates GABA receptors, it reduces anxiety, it helps you drift off, but it does essentially nothing specific for liver detox or gut microbiome support. It is like sending someone to clean your house and only giving them a scented candle. Warm lemon water is another popular one. And look, vitamin C is real, hydration is real, but lemon water is quite acidic. It can disrupt sleep for anyone with reflux sensitivity, and the bioactive compound load is minimal. It is not moving the needle on liver enzyme activity or blood sugar stability overnight. And then there are the store-bought detox teas, the ones with senna leaf. Oh boy, senna is a stimulant laxative. It forces bowel movements by irritating the intestinal lining, used occasionally for constipation relief. Fine, but used nightly as a detox strategy? You are disrupting your gut flora, potentially creating laxative dependency, and doing nothing for actual liver or cellular detox. None of these options address the full picture. What you actually need is something that simultaneously calms systemic inflammation, supports liver bile flow, stabilizes blood sugar throughout the night, and provides prebiotic fuel for your gut microbiome all at once. That is exactly what this 3-ingredient combination does. And I am going to walk you through each ingredient in detail, what it does, why it matters, and exactly how much to use. Ingredient number 1, ginger. Fresh ginger root is one of the most well-studied anti-inflammatory botanicals on the planet. Its 2 primary active compounds, gingerols and shogaols, have been examined in hundreds of peer-reviewed studies. A 2015 review in the European Journal of Pharmacology specifically confirmed ginger's hepatoprotective properties. Hepatoprotective means liver protecting, showing that these compounds actively shield liver cells from oxidative damage and support the organ's detoxification function. But let's talk about the 3 specific mechanisms that matter here in the context of nighttime detox. First, ginger accelerates gastric emptying. That means food moves through your stomach faster and more efficiently. When food sits in your stomach overnight, it ferments. That fermentation produces gas, disrupts your gut lining, and triggers an inflammatory response that competes with your liver's detox activity. Ginger clears that backlog. It is one of the most powerful natural solutions for morning bloating, and now you know why. Second, gingerols specifically upregulate what are called phase 2 liver detox enzymes. Phase 2 detox is the stage where your liver takes partially processed toxins and conjugates them, essentially wraps them in a water-soluble package, so they can be safely transported out of the body through bile or urine. Without adequate phase 2 activity, partially processed toxins can actually recirculate and cause more harm than the original compounds. Ginger supports that critical finishing step. Third, ginger has a mild thermogenic effect. It gently raises circulation to the liver and kidneys during sleep, enhancing the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to those organs right when they need it most. And here is one more thing people overlook. The warmth of the tea itself matters. Warm liquid stimulates the vagus nerve, the major nerve pathway that connects your brain to your gut and activates a parasympathetic state. Rest and digest. That is the exact state your body needs to be in for the detox cycle to begin. You cannot detox in fight or flight mode. The warm ginger tea is flipping a biological switch. Here is the exact preparation. Take 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger root or half a teaspoon of high-quality ginger powder. If fresh is not available, and steep it in 250 milliliters of hot water for 8 to 10 minutes. Fresh ginger is superior to tea bags because the bioactive compound concentration is significantly higher and you control the dose. Let it steep fully. Do not rush it. Ingredient number 2, raw honey. And I need to draw a clear line here. Raw honey and processed honey are not the same product. Processed honey has been heated to high temperatures to improve shelf life and appearance. That heating destroys the beneficial enzymes, the pollen, the antimicrobial compounds, and most of the prebiotic content. What is left is essentially flavored sugar. Raw, unfiltered honey retains all of it. And in this formula, those intact compounds are doing 3 very specific jobs. Job 1, glycogen replenishment. Here is something most people do not know. Your liver runs primarily on glycogen-stored glucose as its fuel source during its overnight detox activity. And liver glycogen burns through quickly. When it runs out, your body releases cortisol as a backup energy signal. Cortisol at 2 in the morning means disrupted sleep, fragmented deep sleep stages, and a suppressed detox cycle. The small amount of natural fructose in 1 teaspoon of raw honey replenishes those liver glycogen stores just enough to keep the liver fueled through its peak activity window without spiking your blood sugar. This is not a blood sugar concern at this dose. It is a liver fuel strategy. Job 2, prebiotic support. Raw honey contains oligosaccharides, specific carbohydrate compounds that your digestive enzymes cannot break down, meaning they travel intact to your large intestine and selectively feed beneficial bacteria, particularly bifidobacterium strains. A thriving gut microbiome is directly linked to liver health through what researchers call the gut-liver axis. Your gut bacteria produce compounds that either support or hinder your liver's function. Feeding the right bacteria at night sets up a healthier gut environment by morning. Job 3, raw honey contains trace amounts of hydrogen peroxide and a compound called B-defensin, 1, which have gentle antimicrobial properties that can help modulate an overgrown or imbalanced gut microbiome overnight. The exact dose is 1 teaspoon. Add it to the ginger tea after the tea has cooled slightly, ideally below 40 degrees Celsius, which is about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. If you can comfortably hold your wrist over the steam, it is probably cool enough. Do not add honey to boiling water. You will destroy the enzymes, the pollen, and the prebiotic compounds. Everything that makes raw honey worth using. Stir until fully dissolved. Ingredient number 3, apple cider vinegar. Now, I know ACV gets thrown into everything these days, and honestly, a lot of the claims around it are overblown. So let me be very specific about what it does and does not do in this context, because what it does here is genuinely valuable and it is backed by real mechanisms. The main active compound in apple cider vinegar is acetic acid, and acetic acid has been demonstrated in multiple controlled studies to improve insulin sensitivity and blunt post-meal blood glucose spikes. In this formula, taken 30 minutes before sleep, it helps maintain stable blood sugar throughout the night, which, as we just covered, prevents that cortisol spike that interrupts your liver's detox window at 2 or 3 in the morning. Stable blood sugar overnight is one of the most underrated factors in sleep quality and morning energy. The second mechanism, ACV, supports bile production and bile acid flow from the gallbladder. Bile is one of the primary vehicles by which the liver actually excretes the toxins it has processed. Think of bile as the liver's sewage system. It packages processed waste and carries it into the small intestine for elimination. If bile flow is sluggish, which it often is when we eat late, eat heavy, or are chronically stressed, toxins get recycled back into the bloodstream instead of eliminated. ACV helps keep that flow moving. Third, if you look inside a bottle of quality raw, unfiltered ACV, you will see cloudy strands floating in the liquid. That is called the mother. It is a colony of beneficial bacteria and enzymes. The pectin content from that mother acts as a soluble fiber that physically binds to certain toxins and excess cholesterol in the intestinal tract and escorts them out of the body. The exact dose is 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered ACV, and I want to emphasize unfiltered, with the mother. That is the product that contains the living cultures and the pectin. Add it to the finished ginger honey tea and stir well. 1 tablespoon, not 2, not 3. More is not better here. Excess acetic acid can erode tooth enamel over time and irritate the esophageal lining. 1 tablespoon is the dose where you get the metabolic benefit without the risk. And if you want to be extra careful about your tooth enamel, drink through a straw. It is a simple habit that makes a real difference over weeks of consistent use. Okay, let's bring the full recipe together right now. Here is everything, step by step. Step 1, boil 250 milliliters of filtered water. Step 2, add 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, or half a teaspoon of ginger powder. Steep for 8 to 10 minutes. Do not rush the steep. Step 3, allow the tea to cool slightly. Test it by holding your wrist near the surface. Warm, not burning. Step 4, add 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey. Stir until dissolved. Step 5, add 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Stir again. Step 6, drink it slowly over 5 to 10 minutes, 30 minutes before your intended sleep time. That 30-minute window is not arbitrary. You want the active compounds to be absorbed and bioavailable in your bloodstream when your liver peaks in activity during the early sleep hours. Drinking it and immediately lying down reduces absorption efficiency. The 30 minutes gives your body time to begin processing the drink while you wind down. This timing is specifically designed to align with the circadian rhythm research published in Chronobiology International. The science and the recipe are synchronized. And before I move on at 16 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 simple habits that can make this drink work 2 to 3 times more effectively. Stay with me for those. Now let's talk about what to actually expect when you start using this. Because I want to set honest expectations, not hype. The first 3 nights, the most noticeable change for most people is falling asleep a little faster. The warm drink combined with the vagal activation from ginger and the blood sugar stabilization from honey and ACV creates a physiological environment that supports faster sleep onset. Some people also feel slightly warmer during the first hour of sleep as ginger's mild thermogenic effect kicks in, and then as your body temperature naturally drops for deep sleep, that contrast actually enhances sleep depth. Between night 4 and night 7, digestive changes begin to appear. Most people report less morning bloating, a more regular bowel movement in the morning, and feeling calmer upon waking. That is the ACV bile flow effect and the honey prebiotic effect starting to compound. If your gut has been sluggish for years, this may be the first time in a long time your morning routine feels genuinely smooth. By week 2 and 3, the cumulative effects become more apparent. If you track blood work, some people see improved liver enzyme values. Skin clarity often improves because fewer processed toxins are being recycled through the gut and showing up on your face. And morning energy trends upward in a way that feels different from caffeine. Steadier, more grounded. Now, your individual results will absolutely depend on your diet, your sleep hygiene, your stress levels, and your baseline gut health. This drink supports your detox system. It does not replace a healthy diet or compensate for chronic sleep deprivation, and consistency matters more than perfection here. 5 nights a week for 3 weeks will show you far more than one perfect night followed by 2 weeks of nothing. Now, I need to talk to you seriously for a few minutes. This is the section I told you about in the first 30 seconds, and if you have acid reflux, this part is specifically for you. Please listen carefully. This formula is powerful, but it is not right for everyone. And I would rather lose a viewer than have someone use this incorrectly and feel worse. Warning: 1 acid reflux and GERD. This is the most important contraindication. Both apple cider vinegar and ginger can relax the lower esophageal sphincter in susceptible individuals. That is the muscle valve that prevents stomach acid from rising into your esophagus. If you have diagnosed GERD, frequent heartburn, or Barrett's esophagus, do not use this full formula without medical clearance. If you want the benefits, consider a modified version. Ginger tea with honey only, no ACV, consumed 60 to 90 minutes before bed rather than 30. The extra time gives the stomach more opportunity to settle before you lie down. Warning: 2 diabetes and blood sugar medication. ACV has a measurable blood glucose lowering effect. If you are on insulin or metformin, adding ACV before bed without monitoring could cause blood sugar to drop too low during the night. That is dangerous. Please consult your physician or diabetes care team before starting this. Warning 3, potassium and kidney concerns. Long-term high-dose ACV consumption has been linked in published case reports to hypokalemia, that means low potassium levels. The dose in this formula is conservative, but if you have kidney disease or you take diuretics, please seek medical advice before using this regularly. Warning for tooth enamel. Acetic acid is erosive over time. Always use a straw or rinse your mouth with plain water after drinking. And never brush your teeth immediately after. Wait at least 30 minutes, because brushing on softened enamel causes more damage. Warning 5, pregnancy. Ginger in moderate culinary amounts is generally considered safe during pregnancy, but higher doses of ginger may potentially stimulate uterine contractions. If you are pregnant, please consult your OB/GYN before using any herbal or functional food formula. These warnings are not here to scare you away from this drink. They are here because I want this to actually help you, and that means being completely honest about who it helps and who it could harm. Okay, now for the bonus section I promised you. 3 habits that amplify everything this drink is already doing. Think of these as the delivery system. The drink is the catalyst. These habits are the environment that lets it work. Habit 1, finish your last meal at least 3 hours before drinking this. Your body cannot simultaneously digest a heavy meal and run its detox cycle at full capacity. Those are competing priorities. When your stomach is working hard to break down food, blood flow, enzyme production, and energy are all directed toward digestion, away from liver detox, away from gut repair, eating your last meal 3 hours before bed, and then drinking this 30 minutes before sleep means you are going to bed in a near-fasted state where the detox cycle has no competition. Morning bloating alone often disappears when people make this one shift. Habit 2, dim your lights 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This sounds simple. It is. Blue light from screens and bright overhead lighting suppresses melatonin production. And melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it is also a powerful antioxidant that works in direct concert with your liver's overnight detox cycle. When melatonin is suppressed, your liver's detox capacity is partially suppressed with it. Dimming your lights and putting your phone down protects melatonin production and amplifies the liver's overnight window. The drink and the darkness work together. Habit 3, hydrate well during the day, not at night. Detox requires water as its primary transport medium. Toxins move through your lymphatic system, through your bloodstream, through your bile and urine, all water-dependent processes. But if you are trying to catch up on hydration in the hour before bed, you are setting yourself up for fragmented sleep from nighttime bathroom trips. Front-load your hydration during waking hours. Aim to drink most of your daily water before 6 in the evening so your body has the water it needs for overnight detox without waking you up at 3 in the morning. You know, the people who get the most out of this kind of approach are often the ones who have already tried everything else. The stressed professional who has been starting every morning with a green juice for 6 months and still cannot shake the afternoon crash. The person who has done 3 juice cleanses and keeps wondering why the results do not last. When they shift their focus from morning detox theater to nighttime detox support, something clicks. Not because this is magic, but because it is aligned with what the body is actually trying to do. Your body is not waiting for a miracle superfood. It is waiting for support during the window when it is already doing the most important work. As the research in chronobiology makes clear, your biology has a schedule. Work with it. Give it the right tools at the right time, and the results compound in ways that morning routines simply cannot replicate. Let's bring it all home. Here is everything in one place. Your body detoxes most actively at night, driven by your circadian biology. You can support that process with 1 glass ginger tea, raw honey, and apple cider vinegar 30 minutes before bed. Ginger drives anti-inflammatory liver enzyme activity and activates rest and digest mode. Raw honey stabilizes blood sugar overnight and feeds your gut microbiome. ACV supports bile flow and insulin sensitivity while you sleep. The timing aligns with chronobiology research. And if you have acid reflux, diabetes, or kidney concerns, you now know exactly how to modify or approach this safely with your doctor. That is the full picture. So here is what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you a morning detox person or a night detox person? And if you try this tonight, come back tomorrow and tell me how you slept. I genuinely want to know. If this video gave you something valuable, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach people who need this kind of information. And subscribe to MediMint Health because next week we are going deep on the gut-liver axis and why your gut health is the single biggest lever you can pull for energy, clarity, and detox capacity. You do not want to miss that one. This content is for educational purposes only. Please consult your doctor before making health changes.